Welcome everyone. Welcome to this Mastering DSA course. We will be continuing from the last video. Like we will do pointers and introduction to arrays. Yeah. So before jumping to pointers, I would like to add. I would like to tell some important thing about online coding interviews, which is like the problem solving flowchart, which usually the interviewer expects you, right? So these things, these small things is what makes this course different from others. Like I will be discussing about some interview tactics, and maybe in future we will also get some people on this channel, and we will share the experience, make them to share their experiences as well, right? So many of you guys have heard that how important it is to get that problem solving mindset. Even I explained that in the first video, right? So uh, how does like what should you do in during online coding interview is like these steps you guys can follow, right? I will discuss this. So firstly, listen and understand. What happens in the online interview is that the interviewer will tell you to open your notepad and then just explain you problem, right? He or she won't make you open a lead code problem where the problem is written, the question is written exactly, the test cases are written, the sample cases are written. It's not gonna happen. He or she will explain you the problem and will make you code the problem in the notepad only, right? So you have to first listen and understand like what exactly is the problem, how, what is the input, what should be the answer, right? So firstly, listen and understand, then take example, right? Take example, as in if you, let's say that if the question is right, you need to there's one array question. Just hold on. Let's say there's one array question like 1 2 3 4 5, and maybe you need to find some, you need to find some particular index and make it, maybe print it like the multiple of 2 of it, like let's say that this. So you have to take like the in the interview round, the interviewer won't give you a particular n, here we are taking a particular n, right? Like the 4. So you have to take example, like if the question asks that you have to traverse an array and then a particular index, you need to perform some computation over it. So you can assume a particular n, right? Like f, you can assume that, okay, let's say that I take the index 2, right? So 0 1 2, I will take 3, and then you can maybe explain or just think how you can solve this problem, right? So if you like take example in front of the interviewer and explain the problem, he or she would get little bit, I mean, they would think that you are okay, you are like practical person, you are actually understanding the problem, right? So take example, then apply brute force method, right? Many, this is actually a really common problem, right? What happens that, let's say that there's one problem which you have, in future you will see like how linear search is less inefficient, and you can apply binary search in place of linear search if the array is sorted, right? So in those cases, you like many people already know the answer, right? The most efficient way. So what they do is that they jump directly to the most efficient way. They don't do brute force method in front of interviewer, which makes interviewer think that you already know the question. So he or she won't get that much impressed by your answer. Maybe like what happened to my friend was like he was giving one on campus interview, interview for a company, big company, and there he got one problem related to some searching only. So the most efficient way was like to apply hash map, right? The array, like first the brute force method is using arrays, and the most efficient is using hash maps. So what he did was he directly jumped to the hash map solution, and there the interviewer was like, okay, you already know the problem, you already know the solution, I will give you another question. And he couldn't solve the another question. So so this should not happen to you, right? So always start from brute force method. Even if you know the most efficient way, always start from brute force method. Fine, we will be following this pattern while doing questions as well. So keep your ears open. Then after applying brute force method, then optimize the solution. Like then you can if you just stop with the brute force method, the interviewer itself will tell you to use a more optimized way to solve it more in a more optimized way. So use. So then you can jump to optimize solution, then implement it, like the your code uh, should be not read should be less redundant. You should use proper names, like if you are defining a particular, let's say that middle element, so your name should be mid. If you are like in binary search, we will have two pointers, low and high, so you should write properly low high. You can't just x y and just assume stuff, right? So I mean, just make your code readable. The code should be understood, should be understandable by anyone who is reading it for first time, right? So these small things will impress your interviewer, right? So your chance will be higher. Then test also in the in many like after you wrote a code, particular code, like even in the last video, we discussed about this problem, right? Let me just show you where we actually drew uh, a recursive tree right here. This, let's say that some question was given to you and you had this, you got this solution. You can try run your code for once. Like you can, like, let's say that you have coded this. You can just say that, let's say that now I'm now dry running this code. So you can just assume that n is equal to 4, and you can maybe show this recursive tree if your code is like this, right? So these things are also important. So just keep these steps in your mind, right, whenever you are in online coding interview. And also we will also try to stick with this flow chart while solving questions in this course, in this whole course, right? So yeah, just this thing I just wanted to include this. Now starting with pointers. Like as I said before, like pointers is mainly in, like, it's a concept of CPP. But so those people who are doing CPP, they can understand this. Is a really important concept for them. Java people can also understand, because this is some things which you should also know, right? So just keep your ears open and listen. So pointers is actually kind of complicated thing. Even, like, I will share my experience as well. Like I started doing Java because, like, I was doing CPP in my college, but then I saw this symbol pointer, right? When I saw this symbol, I was like, okay, I'm shifting to Java. So, like, at first it got me confused, but it's not actually a really complicated topic. Like, now I'll explain you using this example. It's a really good example, which you will understand it very quickly. So there's no you won't shift to another other language like me. So yeah, let's just talk. Anyways, so starting from, like, let's say that you have written this code: int is equal to x is equal to 4, right? So what exactly this line means, you know now, to understand pointers, I use this approach, like transforming every line of code to an English version, right? Like here it's right, int means integer named x, int x means integer named x, right? Is set to equal to means is set to 4, right? Now before pointers, you should also know what exactly, how, like, memory is stored. Let me just first remove this, so that this was done again in the live session. But yeah, when we say int x is equal to 4 in memory, in the compiler's memory, right, in the compiler's memory, this is how memory is stored, right? These are the hex values, and this, like, address and values, kind of like hash map, right? So when you say int is equal to 4, int x is equal to 4, sorry. So in the memory, this one 4, it is like it has its own address. Maybe it's not compulsory that it should, like, x, int x is assigned to this hex value only, but this is just an example. Like 4 is set to have 4 is set to some kind of address. Okay, just understand this. Like whenever we write this code, it has some memory. It is stored in memory, it has some address. Fine. Now this line, the English version of this line means int the integer named x is equal to 4. Now come into this thing. Right, now you guys may get overwhelmed with this, but again we will use English to understand this, right? So first it is integer. Fine, integer, okay. Then this star actually means that whatever is after this star, it makes it a pointer, right? So you can say that this star is modifies type, makes a pointer, right? uh, I will just write it in this way, comma, so that you guys know. Like this star, whenever there is this star asterisk, it makes the thing pointer. So it is like integer pointer px. Again, this is the English version of it, right? Integer pointer px, integer pointer named px. So there's a pointer we are defining which is named px, is set to, then this and a percent and symbol is coming, x, and means address, and means address. So this, the meaning of this is integer named pointer px is set to address of x, right? So now if we come back to this memory location, this line we are this is the same line, this will be like here int and point x, right? And this, there will be another pointer and px, this will be situated here, and this pointer will have its own address, fine. And but this, because of this asterisk present, it makes it pointer, so this will be pointing to here. Why this will be pointing to here? Because it is set to and x. If the line was only like this, then this won't be pointing it, right? If the code, like if we have defined, let's say int star px, so it is like the memory is, it will also have some memory, right? Because it's an integer, so it will be stored here, right? But when we are writing equal to and x, it means that this has some address, it is set to address of x. Where is x? X is here because x is equal to 4, right? So this is x, this will be pointing to this 4. Got it? So this is the pointer. So to summarize, we can say that pointer is just a value that happens to be an address, right? That happens to be an address, fine. And this, why we use exactly pointers? We use because if we want to call by reference, now there are two types, call by reference and call by value. So I would like you guys to go and research more about these two terms, but overall I will still give a glimpse about call by reference, right? Like let's say that I can give you one small example here. This is some good example you guys can see. uh, yeah, so in this program what we are doing is we will be in the live session. What happened was that we were solving on the go, right? I mean, I was asking and people were answering, so this would be like this would be more interactive session. But however, I will explain you guys this. So this code has now let's go line by line. We will start from main illustration. Okay, it is going back here. Now int variable is 20, so declare pointer variable. This program is like having some variable which is set to 20, fine. Now int x ptr, this declares a pointer variable right here, int x ptr, which means that there's a star and ptr is after it, so ptr is a pointer, fine. Now ptr is set to and of variable, which means that ptr has the address of variable 20, right? So assigns the value address of value, assigns the address of a value to a pointer, right? Now if we have this statement of printing value at pointer, if we have to write this, what it should print? It should print address of this, because ptr has the address of variable, and variable maybe this address is some 0x100 hex value, right? So this, it will print the address of variable, right? So this will print out this one. Now if we print out variable, which means this only, so it will easily 20. But now if we say value, if we want to print star ptr, now let's go here, star ptr, which means that it has the pointer, and it is pointing, like here also we took that it is pointing to it, right? So kind of we are asking for value at ptr, so it will print 20 because the value it is pointing to here, and there's this value is setting here, right? So int x ptr is this. Got it? So this is what you should understand. This is the basic principle of pointers, right? Now we will take another example, like swapping the values using pointers, right? So let's say that you need to swap num1 num2. So if you have done basic coding, you guys know that we can use a third variable, right? And swap this. But here we will be doing call by reference. By call by reference, we won't do it by call by value because it's in another function, right? So we can pass pointers to it, right? That's why so call by reference, call by value, again you guys have to search it by your own, and get it. So again, this is actually very direct if you have understood the concept of pointers here, which I explained. So basically what we are doing is that we are actually passing the address, and this will work as a pointer, and then in temp, like temporary is set to star A is star B is equal to temp, which means that swapping has happened. Like basically the address, we are passing first address, but the pointer is pointing the address of the value. That's why the value itself gets swapped. Like if we have 510, it will have 10 5. It will print after swapping, it will print 10 5. It is actually very direct. Now one homework for you guys is that you need to swap two values using third variable. Now again, you guys can use the pointers method or maybe normal one, but you have to swap two values without using third variable. It's actually a really important question in interviews, right? Like like in my own college, this question was asked by 2 3 companies, so it's really important. You guys should uh, do this homework and maybe comment down or maybe use our telegram channel where we are connected. You guys can get your solutions there, submit your solutions there. Now coming to this point, like you guys might think that whatever we have learned till now, this is not related to this, right? I mean, yeah, you guys can implement pointers, but even pointers is not needed to solve this question. Now I'll tell you one thing about this DSA and all. So if you see this, I explained in the live session, so it's already made, right? So if you see here, we will in the DSA course, we will mainly learn about these things: DSA, array, list, trees, a lot of things, right? This data structures, how we can utilize it. Like here we read about pointers and all, right? So this is a thing, but in the real life situation, in the interviews or anywhere, you have to solve problem, which is a bigger part. Like how good is your problem solving? This question will test your how good you can think, how differently you can think. Like without using the third variable, how can you swap two variables, two values, right? So without using the third variable, so this is a more major part of it. That's why I said earlier as well that you guys have to do a lot of input, a lot of more stuff. Like you guys can't depend on this course only, like whatever question I'm doing, then just do that and then stopping. That won't help you. So you have to practice on your own. You guys have to this is the major part, which depends on your your training. If your problem solving skills is not as much good, so you guys can practice and all that will only make it better. But again, this is a major part of it. Like how good is your problem solving, this will only determine your selection chances, right? How much data structures, arrays, that's fine. You use these things to solve problems, right? So how good is your problem solving, how good which data structure is efficient, that is the only thing, right? Hence like just apply, just try this out and let me know. And this last example which I will give with the pointers, it's actually where is it? Yeah. So in arrays as well, we use, like, yeah, here it's already explained. So again, we can use pointers to define an array. Like declare an array, let's say that we have declared an array, v3 is equal to 10 100. So in basically this is an array. All these arrays will have its own, all the elements will have its own memories, right? 0x 1000, 004, 008, right? So declare pointer variable int star ptr, right? Though int star ptr is assigned to a v0, like the star ptr, the ptr pointer will point to first element, right? Now we can traverse this array using this pointer, right? So we can write this loop, we can have this loop value at ptr. Now if we and increment the pointer at each, like after each iteration, it will increment and print the value. Basically this is what happening, right? So if we see out ptr, it will print the address, because pointer is the address, right? We have written pointer is means that it is assigned the address of each variable, right? So if we see out the star ptr, it will print the value, which means 10 100. So this will be the output of it, right? Just see this solution once, see this code, and these outputs, you will understand it, right? uh, yeah, so that's how, like, pointers you guys should know, right? We will be providing you more questions based on this, but for now this is fine. Now coming to arrays, the second part of this video. So starting with arrays, I mean this pretty much basic. I if like I asked people in this in the live session that how many are not aware with arrays, but most of them are already aware. If you're still not aware, I will just give you gist of it. So arrays is just a data structure to store and organize multiple elements, right? Like also like if the way to define it's like int square brackets array is equal to this, right? And many people have this confusion. I mean, mainly beginners, that arrays are only related with numbers. No, if you have this, if you define it in char, if you have this char type, data type, then you can also, put characters, right? So, and again, this the basic, the template to use is actually you can write data type, whatever data type you want, and you can define it like this, right? This is what the basic template is for an array, right? I guess again, if you want to traverse this array, right, and if you want to show a particular number, like let's say that, and if you guys like, you should know about how indexing is done in these arrays, right? Like it starts from zero, always it starts from zero, one, two, three, right? It always starts from zero. If you want to print, let's say index one, so you can you can use array one, cout array one again. And if you want to change this, so maybe you can maybe if this quotient demands some manipulation of it, you can write it like this, right? And traversing the array, there are multiple methods. You guys can use for loop or while loop. Traversing starts from int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, where n is the size of the array. Here the size would be 4, right? Don't say 3, because indexing and size has difference, right? So don't say 3, the size of the array is 4, but indexing starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. Fine. Now I plus plus, you guys can traverse it. You guys can use while loop also. Fine. Now I mean that's how basic arrays are right now. In interviews you guys will use these things. Now we will go to searching algorithms, right? Searching in this video, we will be like, we had to just stop with the arrays, but I will explain the searching algorithms, and maybe we will do more questions of searching algorithms in the next video. However, just see, there are two algorithms in searching: linear search and binary search. Linear search has time complexity of O of n. If you guys haven't watched the time complexity video, please do watch. It's in the playlist, it's the same playlist, and the first video. There I have explained how linear search is O of n, and binary search is O of log n. I guess I have covered that as well, how it is O of log n. Binary search, I have discussed the binary search there, right? So binary search in 1D, this will be covered in the next video. However, I think I can just tell you the basic thing about binary search, right? Majorly in like these algorithms, we deal with binary search only, right? In like interview questions only, you guys will mainly use binary search. Linear search has a big time complexity, right? Hence we will mainly the questions will mainly revolve around binary search. Got it? So binary search in 1D, we will do in the next video. However, I will just tell you the gist about it, right? So using binary search is a very, I mean, you guys have done already in real world. Whenever you are using dictionary, that is a binary search. You guys, whenever you are searching for a word, that you are doing a binary search only, because first dictionary is like sorted. Again, binary search is only for sorted arrays, like always using sorted arrays, and kind of like a dictionary only, right? So I can explain the binary search in 1D right now, but I want to keep this different. So in the next video, you guys will get to know about how what is binary search. And for the arrays, I guess you guys can do this question only as a practice, so that you guys are more comfortable with using arrays. Where was this question? Uh, just hold on. Yeah, this question only. Control C. Yeah. So for your practice, just do this question only, arrays, for arrays. We will be providing you with more questions in the Telegram channel. So be updated and practice and do this question. And I will see you in your next video. Bye.